You're about to see 4 absolutely crazy Prince Andrew apologists call in. You're not going to want to miss this, and I'll give you my full thoughts at the end.
Scale of 1 to 10, how do you think this call's gone for you?
Probably not very well. I think my point I want to make is the difference between Harry and Prince Andrew is, I think, from how I understand it, Harry chose to leave, take his wife and family to California, like you said earlier, to protect her and to protect them and take them away. So I don't think that he's not being invited or not being included. I think he's chosen to take himself away. And then on the Prince Andrew side, I think and I personally don't think he's done anything wrong. So he's not taking himself away and he's trying to push himself back in because what he thinks he has or hasn't done is very minor. So I don't think that calling him the friend of a paedophile and condemning him for being friends with a paedophile, I think it's unfair because there are so many people that have friends that have done awful things.
No, but he
that's not his
he stayed
fault.
Mates afterwards, after he'd come out of jail.
What I was saying to the lady before I spoke to you is you don't know what conversations are being had or have been had behind closed doors. You don't know what Prince Andrew said to Jeffrey Epstein behind closed doors. You don't know if they were being best friends or whether they actually went there and said, you know what, this is awful, I can't believe you've done this, and all the rest of it.
No, you're right.
You don't know
you're
that.
right. No, you got me back to rights, Jack. It's perfectly possible he flew all the way to New York after his mate had got out of jail to say, gosh, I can't believe what a wrong 'un you are.
No, but
you mean all those teenage girls that were hanging around at your private island? You mean that some of them were there and they didn't want to? I had absolutely no idea, Jeffrey. Look at the embarrassment you've caused me. Shame on you and your international sex trafficking paedophile ways. You're right, Jack. It could easily have been that conversation he flew out to have.
But I think you don't know that.
I'm agreeing with you, mate. He could have flown all the way to New York to say, all those girls that were knocking around who I asked you whether they were underage and you assured me that they weren't and they were all there entirely of their own volition. God, the embarrassment, you disgusting man. Shame on you for offering me massages with them and taking my photograph with my arms around. Shame on you, Jeffrey Epstein, for your disgusting behaviour. You're right, mate.
I think what we understand about Jeffrey Epstein is he was a master groomer, manipulator, and horrible person.
You don't know that. You don't know what conversations he had in private. He might have been a lovely guy.
No,
sorry, I'm just deploying your own logic.
I'm
just deploying your own logic here, Jack.
But just to go back on what you just said then, we know that's not true because we know the crimes he was convicted of and the things that we know he did.
How do we know that? How do we know that?
Because we know.
How?
We know that is fact.
Yeah, because he went to court. And faced the accusations.
But
so now,
Andrew
off the top of your head, who didn't?
Andrew never did.
Exactly. How did he avoid it?
Well, by doing what everyone else would have done in that situation.
So you, innocent of sexual assault allegations, would pay off the accuser rather than have your day in court and prove your innocence?
If I...
It's a simple question, Jack.
I wouldn't because I don't have that kind of money.
It's all right. She's going to take 50 quid, mate. Are you going to pay her off or are you going to have your day in court?
If she's going to take 50 quid for a sexual assault, then I would imagine that there's something deeper going on there than... if you're so traumatised and upset and you're willing to be paid off and not actually go through the process to get the person that you're accusing of doing something awful...
£12 million. You realise that you are essentially acting here as an apologist for someone accused of sexual assault?
No.
No, you are. That's not an opinion. That's just counting. Here's the man accused of sexual assault, and here's Jack in Bedford defending him.
I'm not defending him
per se.
Because
you totally are.
I just think that you can't. I think you have to.
Go on.
The court of public opinion can be. I don't know what the right word to use is, but
you're telling me.
I don't know how to word it in a way. Judging someone...
Do you know why you can't word it?
Why is that?
Because your thoughts don't make sense.
Okay.
And your thought is, Prince Harry brought this on himself by sticking up for himself and his wife, whereas Prince Andrew is an innocent victim of circumstances conspiring against him, and that's why you can't say it in words, because if you did, you'd realise how ridiculous you are.
No, but I don't think what is being done to Harry is fair to him.
No, but he brought it on himself.
No, I don't think he brought it. I don't.
But that's literally what you said when you rang in. That was your first point.
No. Yeah, he did
chose to leave the royal family.
Yeah, he did choose to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that was a bad thing to do. I think he's done that for, like you said earlier, to protect him and his family and his wife.
As opposed to paying £12 million to keep yourself out of the dock where you're accused of multiple sexual assaults. And yet here you are siding with the latter against the former.
I don't think that is necessarily the right thing. I don't think necessarily Prince Andrew should have done. I think he should have just stood up and defended himself.
Well, that's changed in the last 30 seconds. That's changed in the last 30. You said literally 2 minutes ago he did what everybody else would have done in that situation. Scale of 1 to 10, how do you think this call's gone for you?
Probably not very well.
Well, what?
Quite high on, well, probably 10 if 10's bad.
Pretty close to 10. I'll give you 9.5, Jack, because it's not lunchtime yet, and you might have
But I want to make it very
low blood
clear
sugar
that
levels. No, mate, you've had your fun.
No. Just in my own defence. I'm just trying to put forward for my own defence that I'm just trying to make the point of someone else.
Okay.
I'm not saying that necessarily. This is 100% my opinion. But
good. Well, next time, don't ring in with anybody else's opinion but your own. All right. Otherwise, people might get confused.
The other thing I'd like to bring up, if I may,
yes,
is the way you are now referring to Andrew Windsor.
Yes, is that incorrect?
That is absolutely incorrect.
What should it be?
Whatever you think about him, his correct title is His Royal Highness Prince Andrew.
The paedophile's friend.
And it's the same with Meghan. Everybody seems to refer to her as Meghan. She's not Meghan. She's now the Duchess of Sussex.
Well, she's whoever she wants to be.
No, she's not.
Yes,
That's
she
her
is.
title.
Okay, can I say His Royal Highness Prince Andrew, the paedophile's friend?
How many friends have you got that may have done silly things or bad things?
None that have been jailed for it, Muffy. How many have you got? None
that have been jailed, but I've had a number that have done silly things.
You think that raping teenage girls gets filed under silly things?
No, absolutely not.
I think you've delighted us for long
absolutely
enough.
Not.
Alex is in Camden. Alex, what would you like to say?
I think this is a witch hunt on Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. I think this is anti-Semitism. I think Jeffrey
Good
Epstein
grief, I thought the last call was mad. Amanda is in Datchet. Amanda, what would you like to say?
Hello there, yes. I just want to know, is it fair that we blanket the whole royal family for one member's actions? If somebody in my family did something wrong, would it be fair that everybody dissed my whole family for their actions?
I don't know that anyone is doing that, are they?
Well, I think that's what came over last night on the TV, was that,
well, let's listen to it again. Let's listen to it again.
Is the monarchy fit for purpose? Jeremy Corbyn.
Needs a bit of improvement.
Mr Johnson.
The institution of the monarchy is beyond reproach.
Where's the sort of tarring everyone with the same brush thing there?
First of all, I think Jeremy Corbyn is in no position to...
No, I didn't ask you that. I asked you, where's the tarring everyone with the same brush bit there in what I just played you?
Well, I think the monarchy needs some improvement, does it? I think it does.
So you're agreeing with Jeremy Corbyn?
I agree that... No, I don't think the monarchy needs some improvement.
You don't think they should get rid of the man who hangs out with paedophiles?
So tell me, if you are a friend...
I'm asking you questions. Would the monarchy be improved by getting rid of a member who hangs around with paedophiles?
No.
Right. This is a fascinating phone-in, and I'd just like you to expand on that. So if you were friends with a paedophile, you don't think that your status would be improved by not being friends with them anymore?
I think you have to look at the whole picture.
I am.
Am I friends with the paedophile because he's a paedophile, or am I friends with a friend?
Here you are on the radio. Here you actually are on the radio, talking about the various circumstances in which you could be friends with a paedophile. I bet you didn't think this was going to happen when you woke up this morning, did you?
Do you want to let me finish?
Not really.
Okay, then there's no point me phoning in.
I don't like talking to people who can be friends with paedophiles, actually, or people who split hairs over it. But it's good that you agreed with Jeremy Corbyn. I bet you weren't expecting to do that when you woke up this morning either.
I did not agree with Jeremy Corbyn.
Yep.
Now, what these phone-ins have taught me is that nothing drives people crazy like the royal family. And you have people somehow finding an angle or trying to find an angle to defend Prince Andrew. And, there's callers who are saying, oh, everyone's friends have done silly things. And I'm sorry, but I'm not really sure how you can justify an international sex trafficking ring as silly things. It's quite crazy to even try to justify that in any way. And it's just pure delusion. And granted, these were from a few years ago, but I think the sentiment around around Prince Andrew's not really changed in some corners of the world, where people are still trying to find ways to defend him or using Prince Harry to try and deflect from Prince Andrew's actions, which just seems completely bizarre. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.